Hello everyone, I've got a super quick, super easy mini journal or junk journal, depending on how much junk you put in it, for you today. Ideal if you need a last minute present for someone. It's Auntie Gertrude's birthday tomorrow and you've forgotten, you're like, oh no, Auntie Gertrude knows I make things, so I've got to make her something. This would be ideal. I used to make these quite a lot before my YouTube days. It's like, oh no, I forgot someone's birthday, what can I do? Get a kit printed out, get one of these put together. I nearly said thrown together, put together with loving care. Yeah, so how are we going to do it? Right, I've got this gorgeous kit from RachandBella Crafts. It's called Nana's Roses. It's absolutely lovely. You know me, I love a rose, I love pink. And I've picked 16 of the kit pages. Yes, 16. I didn't even count how many there were. And I've got some upside down. We'll have to sort that at some point during the process. And I've printed them double-sided. Yeah, so that is an awful lot of real estate covered. Yeah. So that's a quick look. I've printed them double-sided and I've printed them 2 to a page, an A4 page. Some of my pages are slightly bigger than others because when you print them 2 to a page, the edges don't always line up properly. If you've ever printed a digital kit double-sided, you'll know what I mean. So some have had a bit more white cut off the edges than others, but they're all roughly 7 inches by 5. So if you're starting out with scrapbook paper, cut some to that size, and if you've then got a 12 by 12 or an A4 or letter size sheet, that will be perfect for your cover. Because my cover, I have chosen my favourite page from the kit and I've printed it full size on an A4 sheet. I've printed this tea-dyed pattern on the back. That will save a lot of time with covering things and inking things. I've gone ahead and I've printed out the ephemera from the kit, and again I've printed the tea-dyed on the back. I've cut those out. There's about 6-7 pages of ephemera, and again I've printed those 2 to a sheet so that they are the perfect size for the mini journal. Yeah, there's some gorgeous stuff in there, perfect for journal cards. There are some tags, perfect to use as pockets or tuck spacers, anything you want to use them as. You'll see them all as we go through it. So don't think you can't make this project if you don't buy this kit. Yeah, I'd love you to go and support Rachel and buy the kit, but I know we all can't, can we? So that's that. I've also grabbed some tea-dyed paper because I'm going to be using those as pages along with the kit pages. Grab anything you want, book pages, anything you like. You may be making this for yourself. It may be a holiday you've been on and you've got some little bits and bobs of ephemera that you want to include. But I'm just going to use the kit and the tea-dyed paper. So if you're a beginner and you don't have a lot of stuff in your stash, perfect for you as well. Right, I'm going to show you how to make the cover. I've decided, let me find my biggest page. There you go. That's my biggest one. So I don't want any pages in my journal to be much bigger than this one. There might be a few bits hanging out. Let me turn that. Yeah, that's much better. You can see what I'm doing on that tea-dyed side. So this will work to make a cover for any mini journal. What I'm going to do is I'm going to place that, I just think, I'm going to make a journal that has a pocket on the inside at the back and a pocket on the inside at the front. One will be at the bottom and one will be at the edge. I don't know, I might get this wrong, and you might intend it with a side pocket at front and a bottom pocket at back, or other way around. I'm going to try for side pocket at back. Yeah, I'm going to try for that, but I might get it wrong. So I'm going to get my page and I'm going to line it up. No measuring, no real measuring, just guesstimating. Yeah, about 1/2 inch. Is that about 1/2 inch? That's more like 1/2 inch. See, I'm not a good guesstimator. About 1/2 inch from edge there and about 1/2 inch from edge at top. Yeah, so that's going to be how much cover I have around my pages. It will give me room to put tabs on the side or tabs on top or whatever. Yeah, I think I might actually come in a smidgen. No, it's more like, it's still 1/2 inch, I must have moved it. Now then, either with a scoreboard or with a ruler and pencil, I'm going to draw a line, another 1/2 inch under there and another 1/2 inch there. Now I'm going to save time, in fact no, I'm going to use this. Someone did ask me earlier about scoring with a ruler. You can score with a ruler, it's quite simple. Get your ruler, get your scoring tool, and score. But I'm going to do it with a pencil first so that you can see where I'm going to be scoring. Just touch that down so I've got room on my desk. So I'm just going to go about half an inch past, just about. Yeah, I'm using my T ruler so I know I've got it nice and square, and I'm going to draw a line down there. Yeah, and I'm going to do the same at bottom. Perhaps a little bit less than half an inch at bottom, so I haven't got too much room at top and bottom. Yeah, perhaps a bit less. More like a quarter of an inch under it. Yeah, that's nice and square. And again, I'm going to draw a line there. You're probably thinking, why is this woman drawing all over her page? Because you're not going to see pencil lines. I'll move that out of the way now. Now what I want to do is I want to score down there. Two ways you can score. Again, come back in with my ruler. If I were making this on my own, I'd have probably just scored, but I'm doing this so you can see pencil line. I hope I get the score on the pencil line, but like I said, it'll be inside pocket, so no one will know if I don't. So nice score. My card is 250 GSM, which is about 110. It's about £110, that. I did have it up on my phone. Yeah, can you see? So I can still fold it. Oh yeah, I'm managing without a scoreboard. But I would recommend a scoreboard if you're going to be doing any amount of crafting. They're just, yeah, they're just so good. So I'm going to crease that there. There we go. So that is going to be the width of my journal. Now, this one, see, it didn't perfectly go on across my line. Maybe my T-ruler's a bit wonky, I don't know. But I'll still persevere, because we're not working in exact measurements and we're just doing bits of guesstimating. Yeah. In fact, if I line it up that side of my ruler, T-rulers do work a bit better on thicker card. Now this is, that's not going to happen, is it, woman? Turn it upside down. Yeah, dear. Yeah, that's better. Right. So yeah, I'm going to be doing all this process on camera. I'm not going to be cutting any bits out. I'm not going to be, and here's something I did earlier. Or spent last hour doing and then pretended I spent 5 minutes doing it. No, I'm not going to do that. It winds me up no end when that happens. So then I'm going to try and fold that up. Whee. There we go. Oh, I don't mind what people do. I'm moaning about the people, aren't I? Yeah, that's fine, but if you pretend you just did it in 5 minutes when it took an hour, that winds me up. Really does. Right, so I've creased along there and along there. Now that is going to be a pocket on my inside back. That is going to be a pocket on the inside front. So next thing I want to do is find out where my spine is going to be on this little journal. Right, so I'm going to fold that over just to that crease line. I hope you're following it. Right, if you can't line it up perfectly, I like to have my front a little bit longer than my back. It's a bit like a book, how sometimes the front is a little bit longer so you can catch it with your finger. I hope that makes sense. It's probably got a name like Flugelbinder. It's really hard when you haven't got your head dead on top of it. Right, there we go. And I'm going to grab my bone folder, give that a good crease in. So that is now the spine. And that is going to be my front pocket. That is going to be my back pocket. So I need to get rid of that bit and that bit. There's just surplus to requirements. So I'm going to get my scissors and be really... Oh, I've got something stuck to them. I'm going to be really brave, and I'm cutting just, can you see, I've cut just to that side at crease, because when this pocket's folded up, I don't want it to get in the way of my journal folding. Whee. I like to do the last bit with my pointy scissors. I've cut it very wonky, as you can see, so I'll just get a little bit of a trimming down. Whee. There we go, it's probably still wonky. Yeah. What does my mum say? Blind man, I'd be glad to see it. and then I'm going to cut from there all the way along there. Paying particular attention to this one being nice and straight because it's going to be at the bottom edge of my journal. So I'm following the crease and the pencil line because I happen to get them both in the same place. Whee. I just think this is a nice easy way to make a nice little journal. There you go. So we've got a pocket there on the back and a pocket there on the front, and that now is our journal cover. How cute. Now if you're a sewing person and you want to sew this, this would be your time to go ahead and sew. I'm looking at that, you know, and it's quite deep, isn't it, that pocket? It's going to be very hard to get something in, so maybe I could turn it into a little flip out instead. Yeah, I'm going to make it a flip out. It was going to be a pocket, now it's going to be a flip out. So I'm going to grab my, yeah, if my kids have left me one, I think I'll have one under a pencil. Yeah, an eraser. And I'm just going to get rid of that line. There we go. Because I've decided that now might be a flip out. We just don't know what's going to happen, do we? I could just cut, say, a corner off to make it a pocket. But I'm liking that whole thing going on. Right. So that's my cover. Now I'm going to bring my pages back in. Now as I said, because they all ended up being slightly different sizes, because of the amount of white I had to cut off, what I like to do now is order them. It's not really difficult. I want my longest ones to be nearer the outside of the journal. I think that just makes sense because, can you see what I'm doing? Because the smaller pages near the middle will mean that the journal, I've already folded these in half. I did it once to make my life easier because it takes me ages, you know, to line them up like that, and I can only do it when my head's over. So let me fold them all in half and I'll show you what I mean. I tuck them inside each other. Can you see how that won't stick out there because it's a little bit shorter. And that one, yeah. And then maybe that one. That one's looking okay. I am going to put some tea dyed paper in as well, and I may take some of these pages out. I may find it's too chunky for my journal. Have I got them there? Oh yeah, can you see? They look good. So they're going to go in there and be my pages. I'm quite liking that. It's going to be a cute little journal. Right, decide if you're going to round your corners as well at this point. I don't think I am. I know I normally do. I normally say that I find square corners offensive, but on this occasion I think I'm going to keep them square. So next thing is, let's seal this pocket. I'm just wondering, I do need to cut. Can you see how that's very wonky? I just need to cut. You can see there, can't you? Whee. Like I said, I don't want it interfering with the spine, and now you can see it doesn't. Right, I'm going to grab my glue. Oh, glitter glue, where are you? I know you're here somewhere. There you go. I saw you roll away earlier. Now I'm going to, shall we put, yeah, I'm gonna put a little notch in there. Find a circle punch or draw around something circular, I always say. Yeah, then we know that's a pocket. I'm not going to put one there because I've decided I don't think that's going to be a pocket. I think it's going to be a flip out. We shall see. I'm just going to crease that with my bone fold to make it stay flat. Stay flat. Yee, there we go. Yeah. And I'm just going to glue down that edge and down that edge. Like I say, if you're a sewing person and you want to sew this, you can do that on your sewing machine. But I also like to put a little bit of glue on as well. Do you know, just in case stitches break, make sure things aren't going to fall apart at a later time. So let's glue that and glue that. Did I bone fold that? I don't think I did. Now I'm going to get squidges, can't say it, squidges of glue. But oh well. Oh, my new mat's got glue on, it's been christened. Right, if you're going to ink, come in and do your inking now. I am not going to ink. I've decided Great Aunt Phyllis, whoever it is, I forgot whose birthday this is for, does not like, it's not Phyllis. Hello Phyllis. I've mentioned ink and Phyllis came to mind. Great Aunt Gertrude didn't like inking. So that's that, that's that. I mean, you could call that done, couldn't you, really? But I want to put some tea-dyed paper in. Right, let's grab some. I've just grabbed a handful. I'm not going to use this much. I think, how many? I had 4 sheets doubled over, didn't I? So if I use 4 sheets of, or did I have 8? I don't know. I forgot, can't count. Did I have 8 doubled over? Yeah, I had 8 doubled over. If I take 8 of these doubled over, that will give me 32. Yeah, it'll give me 32 sheets altogether, which will be 64 pages. I'll tell you how I come to that. That is 1 page, 2 page, yeah, onwards. So we start off with 8 pieces of paper, which makes 16 leaves, yeah, which makes 32 pages, yeah, it doubles up. So I'm going to start off with, I think I'm just going to use 6. I don't want it too chunky. Yeah, I'll grab 6 of these. Oh, take that one away. And I want these to be around about the same size. So they want to be about 5 inches by 8 inches. No, 5 inches by 7 inches, woman. 5 by 7. So, oh, could I be brave and do it with a craft knife? No, I don't think I could. I think I'm going to have to get my trimmer out. And I've left my giant one downstairs. So unless I shout a child, cover your ears while I shout a child. Is there a child there? Hello? Jaden? Can you bring me a big chompy chopper from the dining room, please? There you go, I've ordered my big chompy chopper out at dining room off a child. Yeah, because I need my big one when I'm measuring up to 7 inches, don't I? So let's put those there. Let's tidy it desk and put pin and glue while chopper arrives. I mean, I could have paused it and fetched it myself, but that would have been really hard work, wouldn't it? Thank you, darling. Here we go. Da-da. So, yeah, I want to cut my pages at 5 inches by 7, roughly. I've got 5, did I say I was going to use 4 and I went and got 5? How many have I got? 1, 2, 3, I've got 5. So let's test this Tim Holtz trimmer out doing 5 sheets at once. Yeah, so I think fair, I'm going to use that as my straight edge. And, oh, it's gone really bright. I hope it's not blinding you, this. I'm just going to butch them up. I'm going to hold it down and I'm going to see if it'll cut 5 sheets of paper. Ooh, oh, that was nice, yeah. So I've cut those edges off. Then I turn it again, I use that as my new straight flat edge. And again, I want to cut these edges off because I don't want this journal too grungy. I mean, Great Aunt Gertrude doesn't like too much grunginess in her life. And we'll cut that again. So now here is when we have to do the measuring. So I'm going to pull my little flap out. Yeah, I've had a few people asking about this, whether I like it. I have seen other people say they don't like it. I know Margaret over at 7 Plaza doesn't like it, but I love it. I absolutely love it. And I'm going to cut this to 10. Yeah, because I want 2 lots of pages that are going to be 5 wide. Are you following me? So that's 10. I think with rotary trimmers you've got to be a little bit more precise. And then I'm going to cut this down to 7 in height. So I've cut my paper down to 7 by 10. And then I'm going to cut it again in half at 5. Yeah. Make sure that's now nice and firm or your paper will move. Make sure you're not pressing hard, you're just guiding. There you go. And now I've got 2 lots of paper that is 5 by 7 and it seems to match up really nicely. Well done. Well done. Look at me complimenting myself. Well done, Julie. You did good on that. Now you can cut that down with anything. You can measure it, cut it with scissors, do whatever you want. I always say about these gadgets and gizmos, most of them are just here to save time and make our lives a little bit easier. I'm just going to adjust my lighting one tiny little bit because it's getting very bright. Oh, that's better, isn't it? Right, so we've got our pages. I've got 10 of them that measure 7 by 5. I'm going to bring these back in. Oh, I'm holding my breath to see whether they're the same. And I'm going to fold them all over at one time. Yeah? And you'll see what I mean about if all your pages are the same size. Can you see how they stick out in the middle? And if you don't want it, what you need to do then is come in and trim them off. People who are really good with craft knives can come in and do that. I'm terrible with a craft knife, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my little chopper and I'm just going to grab a couple at a time. This is how I do it. I'm going to put them in, and I know I've just gone to great pains to make them 7 by 5, and I'm just going to cut some of those edges off. Yeah, I'm going to take the next lot from the inside and I'm going to cut a little bit less of the edges off than I did last time. Yeah, so I'll put those back in there. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. It's not perfect, I'm not looking for perfection. And then my last lot there, I'm going to cut a little bit off again. There we go, and I'll put those back in there. Now, I'm happy with that. It's not perfect, yeah, but I'm happy with it. It's good enough. Now, what I will do is I'm going to intersperse my tea-dyed paper with my kit pages. No idea how long. It's actually not been too long yet, this video, has it? So we'll put one there. Then we'll put the next kit page. Then I'm going to put one there. Then this time I think I want to put 2 kit pages just because I can. 2 kit pages. Then I'm going to go for 2 tea-dyed pages. And I'm working from the outsides of the piles in. Then I'm going to put 1 kit page. Then I'm going to count how many. Do you know, I did low. I think I ended up doing twice as much paper as I needed, didn't I? I just don't know. Did I? I ain't got a clue. Do I even know what I'm doing? I don't know. So I'll put 1. Let's put 2 more tea-dyed pages in. You can never have too many tea-dyed pages, can you? No, she says no. Then we'll put a kit page. Now, can you see that's getting lovely and chompy? I like it. Yeah, I just totally lost count, didn't I, with my paper? 1 tea-dyed page, a kit page, and then I think I want that. Oh yeah, I like that. That'll make a nice little kit page for the middle. Now, if you look, yeah, the middle ones stick out a little bit, but it's not noticeable, and it's not in your face, and it's not annoying me, really. So that's the body of my journal. That is then going to get sewn into there. How cute is that? That is just so cute before you even decorate it. I'm sure Great Aunt Gertrude would love this. She would. I'll count how many pages, right, that I cut. How many have I got spare? I've only got 1. No, I've only got 1, 2, 3 spare. So do you know what I could do? I could make a teeny tiny little notebook to pop on there, couldn't I? I could. I might do that yet. You never know. Right, so we've got that there. Right. Ooh, you could even do that. Oh, the possibilities. I'm going to leave that as is, yeah. Possibilities. Right, the next thing I want to do is bind this in, but I'm conscious that binding into a journal that has only got 1 thin piece of card might be a bit dodgy, and it could pull through and it could rip. So what I suggest you get here is anything from a piece. You could even put a piece of this down. This is seam binding. You could put a piece of seam binding down the middle. You could use a piece of washi tape. You could use, what I've grabbed is a piece of lace. I'm hoping this will work, because if I tell you what this lace is, you might have a chuckle. It's knicker elastic, yeah. I've got some knicker elastic. Oh, I like it. Yeah, it's pretty nice. And it's got a little bit of a stretch to it. So do you know what? If you get it in wrong place on junk journals, it's very, very forgiving. So what I'm going to do is glue a bit of knicker elastic. I ordered knicker elastic by accident, didn't I? I didn't know it was stretchy knicker elastic when I ordered it. Just looked pretty. And it's been in my stash for a long, long time. And I'm just going to glue it down there. Yeah. So I'm wondering if I could put 2 pieces, one for front, one for back. It's quite pretty, isn't it? I could put, yeah. What I want is that thick part to go on my spine somehow. Yeah. Right, get your glue, woman, and get your knicker elastic glued on. You can use whatever lace you've got. I've got lots of the cotton lace, but I really like that colour with that. And it does have a shiny and a non-shiny side. I want the non-shiny side outwards. Can you see? If you wanted it shiny, put it that way. So I'm going to grab my, not Barely Arts, I want my art glitter glue. I'm going to grab my art glitter glue. Where's it gone? Come here, art glitter glue. I've got 2 art glitter glues now on my desk. For these times when I lose it. Did it roll on the floor while I was getting my trimmer off my daughter? I am going to have to pause now. Don't worry, I'm not going to finish the journal. I'm just going to find my glue. And I found it. It had fallen over behind my fan. I had 10 minutes with fan as well. It's a bit warm here. Right, so find end of your knickers. No, end of your knicker elastic. Do you know, I think in the US you call them pants, don't you? Do you know pants? I don't know. What do you call underwear? What a conversation. Yeah, knickers are our underwear. Underwear, yeah. Right, I'm going to cut that a little bit longer than what I need. I'm toying with idea of putting 2 on, you know. So then we've got extra thickness on our spine. I could have one that way and one that way. Yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. So, cut that as well. So, right. Grab your glue, woman. You've found your art glitter now. I'm just going to put a line of glue directly down my spine. Whee. Art glitter glue does stick fabric pretty well. If you prefer fabric tack, get that. I say it all the time. I don't use it because it's just too... I don't like the fumes. And I'm going to pop that. Yeah, I'm going to do the back one first. The back. I'm going to put that along there. Whee. If you're not sure if it's straight and you've got a ruler, just chuck your ruler on. Like that. And have a look, see. That's straightish. Again, like I always say, we're not looking for perfection. It'll just help strengthen that spine a little bit. And if you stretch it, because it's stretchy. Whee. I'm just going to fold it and see, yeah. That's just a little bit over onto the front. Yeah, I like that. Right, then I'm going to put my other piece on that's going to go onto the front of the journal. So I'm going to put glue again down here. Just let me put a bit under there. So I'm just going to cut this off flush with top and bottom at journal. Yeah, if you've got fabric tack glue, it'll dry much more instantly. You won't have any wiggle room if you put it on it wrong place, though. That's another reason I prefer to use this. Whee. There we go. I'm going to come in after and glue it down there. I don't want the shiny side up. I want the non-shiny side up. That's soaking in a bit there. Put a bit more on. There we go. Now, if this was an emergency crafting session for Aunt Gertrude's birthday, you would have to stop and have a cup of tea, wouldn't you? You really would, because you'd be getting a little bit parched and a little bit thirsty by this point. So what you'd do when you put this elastic on is you'd just let it dry. I'm going to give it about 15 minutes while I make a cup of tea, and then I will come back. So 2 ticks. Right, I'm here mid-dry with a little update. That glue, the card has stuck to the first layer pretty well, but this second layer, can you see where I've stuck elastic to elastic? That hasn't been quite as successful. It has stuck in places, but not others. So I'm just going to come in and I'm going to put a bit more glue on. See what happens. If this doesn't dry, what we can do is stitch down the centre. Especially if you go sewing machine, that'll be easy. But because it's stuck there and it's stuck there, I'm thinking all it needs is a bit more glue. I think, you know, because it's like it's plasticky, isn't it? It's nylon. If it were cotton, I don't think we'd be having this problem. But I just wanted to use my knicker elastic, didn't I? So let's get a bit more on. Whee. And then I'm going to leave it to dry for another 10 minutes and see what occurs. Right, I've given it another 10 minutes, and as you can see, I'm not going to go peeling it up to check because I can see that it has this time stuck. So yeah, it just needs a little bit more glue, doesn't it? So I think the first layer soaked in, the second layer has actually stuck. So I'm happy with that now. So what I'm now going to do is trim it. Right, I noticed my big scissors were not really good at trimming this, so I've got my little ones that are sharper. And I'm just going to trim round about flush with the top and bottom of my journal. There we go. And like I say, you can use anything. You could even just wrap another piece of cardstock around it. Oh, you know the spare bit that we cut off? That would be ideal, wouldn't it? Yeah, I just wanted this lacy look. Whee. Yeah, that's worked. And you can always pop a little bit more glue on when you go up in the morning before you nip it over to Aunt Gert's. Oh, that's good. So now I'm happy that's stuck. That's another reason I don't like to stick it all down, just the spine. If that had gone horribly wrong, I could have put something else on without having ruined my cover. So I'm just going to get my art glitter glue again, and I'm just going to put some little blobs of glue on the wider parts of the lace here. If you don't want it to go through, just put a piece of paper underneath. I hope I'm in shot. Yeah. There we go. Just on the wider bits. I mean, it is going to dry clear anyway. I don't think you would have had that problem if you were using the fabric arc. I'm just going to grab my old bone folder as well. Rather than get this all over my fingers, I'm just going to tap it down with my bone folder. Whee. Yeah, because I thought to myself, stretchy lace might be really good on spines and knickers, apparently. Right, so a bit more, whoops. And then we can let this dry while we sort a few bits of ephemera out for our journal pages. Now, how fancy you go on your journal pages is all down to what you've got, how long you've got to finish this journal before Gert turns 75 or however old she is, and how much time you've got to do it. Right, so let's do that. Whee. I just got impatient now. The old bone folder flat. Right, so I quite like that. That's pretty. You'd never know that with knicker elastic, would you? Of course you wouldn't. I mean, if you don't have any, if you don't have, yeah, you can trim something off the edge of clothes off. Yeah, I'm not saying use your knickers, but there you go. Right, that's going to one side to dry now. I've got a bit of glue on my fingers, so I'm just going to grab a baby wipe while I have a bit of a waffle. Yeah, the other thing I needed to update you on was I've been waffling about my girls. They're in the UK and they took their exams, their GCSEs. It's weird in UK. I think in US at this age, in fact I know because one of my girl's friends has moved to Texas. Yeah, she's moved to, is it Amarillo? I don't know why I'm thinking Amarillo. Is that even in Texas? I don't know where I've got that from. Anyway, she's moved to Texas and she's going to be doing her last 2 years of high school. Yeah. So what they take exams at 16 years old. in UK, and then the last 2 years of high school is what would be high school in US is called sixth form or sixth form college. Yeah, and depending on, are there them spare bits? Yeah, I want them in there. Yeah, depending on the grades, depends on what they can do for those last 2 years. Right, so I'm going to grab my ephemera now. We know that's going to be our journal, and I'm going to go through what we've got. Right, in this ephemera we've got 2 pointy pockets, and I think I want that. I like to have my big chompy pockets somewhere near the outside of my journals, so I'm thinking I might put one there, and one, right, do I want that? Yeah, I want that one that way, and I'll have this one this way. Let's have a look what this back page looks like. I could have that one there. No, it's too similar, isn't it? What about that one there instead? No, I don't like it on that page. I'm going to try one page further in. I don't want to cover that little hoose up, because, oh, that'll be nice on the writing page, yeah. So I'm going to glue these 2 pockets on now. Just pull that out if you don't want to get glue on everything else. So we're going to glue along these 2 edges. So yeah, my girls are going into what, sixth form college, and they didn't get, the grades were lower than expected. But if you're in UK, you'll know that's, yeah, most children's grades were lower than expected. Something to do with they were artificially inflated for the last couple of years due to children missing a lot of school because of COVID. And this year, they decided we're not going to do that anymore. We'll just go back to grading them how we did before COVID had affected them. Although my kids missed most of year 8 and year 9 in school. Yeah. And then they've took their exams at the end of year 11, and they've been graded as though they haven't, yeah, as though COVID just really didn't affect them. Anyhow, I won't moan too much about that, because it seems the colleges know this. So the grades they would have needed to get into college, they didn't get, but they've both still got into the sixth form colleges to do the courses they wanted with lower grades. So, yeah, everyone's in the same boat, do you know what I mean? I mean, yeah, you've got your really high-attaining students who were still going to get an A no matter what, weren't they? Do you know what I mean? My kids are not them kind of kids. They're intelligent, but they are not A students. But they are good students. Yeah, and then, so they've got to do what they want to do. Rachel, or Jaden as we call her sometimes, is going to be doing history, English, literature and geography. And Rebecca is going to a different college and to do art. She's going to be doing art. She's going to be doing graphic design and media and sociology. Right, I'm just looking through this ephemera to decide what I want to put where. Right, I'm going to want to use some more of these as pockets. Now, that's definitely going to be an envelope we need to put together. That's going to be a double tag. Let me show you the other double tag, which is ticking about here somewhere. Where's it gone? Where have you gone, double tag? There you go. Because what I want to do with double tag is this. I want to pop that over a page edge and secure it with a little mini paper clip, because then it looks cute and you can dangle something off the little mini paper clip. So that's that. So I'm looking for some of these that can just be put on as tuck spots. I love that. I've cut around the wiggly wobbly edges, but I don't know if I want that as a journal card or a tuck spot. I think I want that as a tuck spot, so we'll have that as a tuck spot somewhere. That's going to be another tag. That's a lovely journal card. Another tag, journal card. So I'm just sorting them out into what I want them to be. Tags. Some are obviously tags because the tag shape. But having said that, you could have a tag shaped tuck spot. I think I might have that as a tuck spot. That will make a nice little pocket along the bottom somewhere. That might make a nice pocket. Tags and journal cards. I like that. I don't want to hide these little cute little girls in pockets. Right, so I'm going to go ahead and pop some of these on as tuck spots. So let's decide where we want them. Do you know if there's any parts? I mean, that it's nice and all that, but it's not doing much for me, that page. I think I want to cover that bit up, and I'll have a top tuck spot. That's something I often forget to put in journals, top tuck spots. So I could have that little girl there. Oh, yeah, I think she'd look cute there. Oh, don't know what I threw on floor. Could be out. Could be out. Yeah, I'm going to pop her as a top tuck spot. So I'm going to glue across the top and down the side. Yeah, it's all very basic in this journal. I'm not doing out majorly fancy. Remember, we're throwing this together last minute for our Aunt Gert. Right, and I'm going to put it slightly in from the edge because it's not got a very definite edge. Yeah, I like that there. So I'm going to flick back to front, and I want to do something over here. Oh, I like that. But I think that would look good with a pocket on, wouldn't it? Maybe in a darker colour. Oh, I like that. That'll make a nice pocket. I like that on that page. So I'm going to glue down along and up. Whee. I think when you use a gorgeous digital kit like this, it makes it look like you've spent an awful lot more time on it than you have. Because the kit is half the work, isn't it? Whee. There we go. Yeah, I like that. That looks pretty. And I'm not putting anything in these pockets yet because I want them to dry. So let's come further out. Oh, that. Now that page is asking for something on bottom, isn't it? It's pretty up there. It's still pretty, but it's rather plain. Now, what about that postcard I said I could use as a pocket? I don't know if that stands out enough. So let's have a look what else we've got. What about that one? Now that stands out much better, doesn't it? Yeah. Yeah, so I think I'm just going to glue two edges on this, down that side and there. Whee. Now I don't think I've mentioned it at the beginning, I did print a couple of extra pages out on thick card. You know, if I get to a point where I need an extra pocket or an extra tag, let me show you. Where have you gone, mates? Yes, here we go. Yeah, I just printed an extra, in fact two of them are the same, I don't know why. Oh, one's got tea dyed on back, so I could turn that into a couple of tags or a journal card or anything. And yeah, there you go. They could be pockets and tuck spots. So that's that there. Let's move to another page. If you've got stamps, you could come in and do a little bit of stamping on your plain tea dyed pages. Ooh. Now that's pretty and all that, but I don't think it's me. So I think I want to cover that up and make a pocket out of something else. And I think I'm going to do it with part of one of these cards. Yeah. Which one though? That's a big decision, isn't it? Oh, I could do it with a bit of that. Oh, I could have that bit there that says antiques. And just have the antique bit. Yeah, so I'm just going to grab my trimmer. A teeny tiny one will do. I know my pages are roughly, are they roughly 5 inches wide? Yeah. Are they? I forgot. Yeah. Did they end up being like 4 3/4, didn't they? So I'm just going to cut that down there. There we go. Just going to cut that. I've got a smidgen of a white edge on. Now you can see why some of my pages ended up being smaller than others. That'll make a beautiful journal card, but I want it to be a pocket. And I'm going to cut it 3 inches high. I think that will cover that blue. Not that it's not pretty, Rach, it's just not for me. And I want to cut that edge off. I don't know why, I just do. It needs to be a bit narrower. Yeah, that is now a much more me pocket, and I'm going to put a thumb notch in it just because I can. Shall I use my big punch or my little one? I'll use my big one. So yeah, we're just faffing and decorating now. I will get onto the sewing in. I will show you the sewing in, don't worry. So if you are a beginner following along, I'm just waiting for that spine to dry. Right, so I'm going to glue the sides and the bottom. Again, I always hold it with my bit that don't want glue on. I repeat myself on that often, because I know not everyone watches every video, do they? See, I'll stick this on, waffling about the girls again. I am very proud of them, what they've done. And I'm proud that they've got to do what they wanted to do in sixth form college. They're actually looking forward to going back, which is not soon enough, really. One starts on Wednesday and one starts Thursday at the new place. She starts Thursday, does a full day, and then Friday they're only in well dinner. So first week is a day and a half. I could do a job like that. I really could. Right, so that's that pocket. Right, let's trot along. Oh, we put that one there, didn't we? I mean, you can put pockets anywhere you want. I'm just looking at the pages and deciding which pages need something. I think I might put my tags on the centre page. You know, the double tags. That's just a lovely look page, isn't it? And we're going to have something tucked on there. Yeah. Oh, that's that same page I've just cut down to make a pocket. I'm glad I didn't put it too close. Got that lovely tuck spot there. So already it's starting to look a bit like a journal. Now, another thing I do like to do, I don't know if I've got anything suitable. Yeah, I have. I could use that. Could I? Yeah, I'll fold something in half. Let's do it with this. And then it will make a tuck spot on either side of the page. And I am going to round those corners. If you don't have a corner rounder, you can just, in fact, do it without your corner rounder, woman. You keep saying you don't need all these fancy tools, then you use them. They save time. There you go. Look, you can do a corner. And just to save time now, I'm going to do other three with my corner rounder. So it is possible. And yeah, I'm going to pop that on there. Then we've got two side tucks. Now you can fasten this on with glue, or another easy way to do it. I've got my, this is the Tim Holtz Tiny Attacher. I'm just going to take that out. All Tiny Attacher is tiny staples. But you can get any tiny staples. I'm going to put one there. Oh no, every time I get this out on camera, does it run out of staples? I can't believe it. I'm going to pause while I fill it up. Right, that's one tiny attacher all filled up. Lordy. Yeah, they've got to be expensive, them now. I've got to be honest with you, I wouldn't buy one now. When I bought mine, I got it for about £8 off Amazon a few years ago. Things have just got so much more expensive lately, haven't they? But it's always worth keeping an eye on them Amazon prices. They go up and down like a flag on a pole. My mum had a different saying for that, but I'm not going to say it on YouTube. Some of you may guess. Right, so yeah, that's two cute little side tucks now. If you're worried about those, in fact, another reason I like the tiny attacher, they're not sharp. It curls them over in such a way that you're not going to catch your fingers on them. So that doesn't really bother me. Right, what else have we got? Now I think we're going to go back now because some of these are going to be dry enough for us to put things in. So I'm not going to actually put them in, I'm just counting how many I need. So we'll need one there, because I like to sew my signature in with as little stuff to fall on me while I'm doing it as possible. Oh, that looks nice there. Sure Aunt Gertrude will think we spent ages deciding where to put that. Of course we did, didn't we? Oh, we've got a pocket there, so I can put a tag in there. And what else have we got? Got another pocket there. We could pop a couple of tags in there, I don't know. There's one there. What else have we got? Yeah, we definitely need some more pockets and tuck spots. I think we're going to put those double tags on the middle, as I said. I want something to tuck up there. I think a postcard up there will look nice. So I have tuck that up. I lied about not putting them in. I fibbed. Yeah, I fibbed. Got a couple of pages for writing now. A couple of these little tags I think are going to tuck nicely into those. Maybe I need something with a bit of contrast though. Yeah, that's better. And, oh yeah, that one can go there. So already, we're getting plenty. Oh, a big tag can go in that big pocket again. Right, so that's how much of the ephemera we're going to be using. Let's see what we've got left. I've got quite a few little journal cards left. I've got an envelope to put together and this tag to cut. And, yeah, that's the double tag. So, let's have a look how our cover's going with drying. Oh, do you know what? I think that's dry. Oh, put it right way up, woman. So that's how I like that. And then as a closure, I'm just going to tie seam binding around it. You can't go wrong with that. I think I want to put a tiny little dab of glue there. Oh, I didn't put my pin in, did I? Ugh, what am I like? I'm sure quite a few of you were telling me to do it, and I'm sorry I didn't listen. Yeah, there you go. That's it. How's the back looking? Just a little bit there. There we go. And a little bit more glue there. It's peeling off at top. There we go. If it continues to keep peeling off, I can put a staple in it, put a stitch in it, put a paper clip on it. There's lots of things you can do. It is, after all, a junk journal. Right. So that's that. Now let's put these two together just while that last little bit of glue dries. So I've got my tag. What I'm going to do now, I am going to use my scoreboard. I'm sorry if you don't have one. I'm going to cheat. And I want to score between those two tags. I'm going to put it upside down. As you can see, one of the score lines, I've put a pencil mark down middle, and it's for these kinds of situations. I'm just going to cut a little bit more of that white off the top. Yeah, because I want to see where other end of my score line is going to be. I want to know it's going to be along the centre of that crease, and I think that is. There we go. So then I'm going to fold that, and for this little bit here I'm going to have it double. Just, yeah, move your scoreboard out of the way, woman. Put your journal over there to dry. You don't need it in your way. Grab a bone folder. I'll get me good one. I'm just going to do that. And then I'm going to cut those while it's folded over. But I'm not going to cut all the way while it's folded over, just that little bit. Just to check. Yeah, that's fine. Now I'm going to cut up there. So it just got that corner bit cut perfectly into that crease. I don't know why, but that pleases me. Right. And I'm now just going to trim around the top. I've had a few again ask about these. I'm quite liking these Fiskars trimmers. I find I can be a little bit more precise with them, and they don't make my hands hurt. I don't have very severe arthritis, but it's more like repetitive strain with me, I think, because I can be heavy-handed. I find with these I can't be heavy-handed, and I can't grip them too tight, so yeah, they don't hurt. I've got to be gentle. It forces me to be gentle. There we go. And if it still looks a bit wobbly where you've been cutting, come in with your bone folder and just flatten edge down. Because I'm not inking these, and then it looks a little bit nicer. There we go. And then that bottom corner and that bottom corner, they're going to get the corner rounder treatment. If you've got it, use it. That's what I say. There we go. So that's my other tag for my centre. I think, yeah, I did. I forgot to round these bottom corners. I'm doing the outer two separate because it doesn't line up perfectly, this one at bottom. There we go. So that's those. Right, what else? The envelope. Yeah. This envelope. Oh, you've got wrong thing, woman. In fact, no, let's do it without. Let's do it without. Let's try and just fold it blind. I'm going to fold from that corner to that corner and see what occurs. See whether it can be done without any tools. And do you know what? By golly, it can. Look at that. So if you just follow the pattern, well, the outline, that overlaps slightly, which is perfect. A little bit more, methinks, a little bit more. Oh, look at that. How good is that? Maybe I needed to move that one over a little bit. There we go. So yeah, no scoreboard needed. I just happen to have had a lot of people asking how you would do something without a scoreboard lately. Then that one. And you've got a cute little envelope. Now it's up to you whether you glue it or whether you pop it in somewhere so that it can all be opened up and journaled on, like so. I mean, that's just your preference, isn't it? I am going to glue it. So I'm going to put a teeny tiny bit of glue on that edge. And because there's not a huge overlap, I'm going to get a piece of wrapper off my Throat Sweets, and I'm just going to pop it in there while I do that. There we go. So that if any glue seeps out on the other side, my envelope's not going to be stuck together. Yay, there we go. And I'm just going to pull that up a little bit. So I can still glue bottom bit. Yay. Yeah, there's quite a few ladies who've done complete journals in this collaboration, and it's been brilliant to see how people do things differently. So I've changed my mind about what I'm going to do a fair few times. And I thought, oh, do something mini and quick and make it for Auntie Gertrude. Oh, she's great grand. I forgot what relation Gertrude is. It was definitely a Gertrude in family. Right, so that's that. Now, that's all our ephemera bits put together that need putting together. We've got all these extra bits to stick in after our signature's sewn in. And we've got some extra bits should we need them. Right, I'm going to grab my cover now because I'm thinking it will all be dry. Oops, that's going there. Yeah, it's a big chompy signature, this, isn't it? So I'm glad I've got 2 layers of lace. You know, I'm just wondering. Yeah, we could have. You could put another crease in there. And you could have that come across the front, so it could be very versatile, this little journal. Yeah. Right, now we're going to sew in the signatures. Right. 2 ticks while I get my supplies. And I'm back. Right. I did a signature sewing in recently. I'm like, use a telephone directory. And someone commented, I haven't seen a telephone directory for years. And you know what? We've only got rid of the yellow pages, which were a big thick one. We only got rid of it about 5 years ago. I don't know if you got rid of them earlier in States, I don't know, but yeah, we don't have them delivered anymore. In fact, we had a phone book the other day and it was about that thick. So if you don't have a cradle to sew in journals, get a nice thick book. This is, I don't even know where it is. Excuse me if it's got any naughty words in it. Right, open it up. And then, can you see, it works just like a punching cradle. Yeah? Now, because this is one signature, I am going to punch through my, let me get rid of, yeah, we're going to take some of these tags out, won't I, and put them back in after. Take them out, 'cause you don't want to go punching through them, do you, missus? No. No, you don't. There we go. Some of them I did tuck in place, some of them I didn't. Right, so that's our signature. Oh wait, yeah, we're in shot. That is the spine, that is our pages. Now what I do is I just punch through the whole lot together. If you want, you can clip these with bulldog clips. I had someone comment the other day about it. Use clips, use clips. Whenever I use clips, somehow when I'm clipping it, it goes off centre somehow, and then my whole journal is wonky. So I prefer to not use clips. Some might think I'm flying by the seat of my pants, but it's just how I do it. Was it horses for courses? Everyone does it differently. There we go. So I'm going to grab my awl. Oh, I've got a child. No, the child doesn't want anything. I think the child was just being a bit nosy. Come here, awl. I've just got everything out ready and then dropped me awl on the floor. 2 ticks. There we go, picked it up. Right, and then I am going to, I've got a little bit more room at the top than the bottom to allow for anything I want to have sticking out at the top. And I'm going to eyeball it, and I'm going to punch that in the middle. Yeah. Then I'm going to punch it again up top, about what? Just under 1 inch from top. There we go. And then I'm going to do the same at the bottom. I think the resistance is the actual book spine. Yeah. Now, if you want to clip it, this is the point at which I clip it. Because I've got my holes in. It's not all going to go skew-if. If something does go skew-if while I'm clipping it, at least I've got my holes there so I can line everything back up. So I've just grabbed a couple of bulldog clips out of my drawer, and I'll just clip them. Also, I don't like the clips being on for a long time to mark my book. Right, I'm going to sew with this cream wax linen thread. I like to have about 3 lengths, at least 3 good decent lengths, which is 3 times the length of my spine. You can get away with less, but yes, I've got plenty of it. I'm going to grab a needle. Ooh. There we go. Go on, you can thread. Do it. It's sharp, but not mega sharp, if that makes any sense. And I like to start by going in the centre hole, straight through to the outside of the journal. There are various ways of doing this. I think the way I do it's called a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. Then you need to come back in. Now, because we've got that lace on, it's going to be hard to see the hole, so I'm just going to poke my hole through again. Yeah, and then you can see it on the outside. Then I'll be able to feel where my hole is, yeah? And we're coming back up then. There, it doesn't matter whether you go at the bottom or the top. It really doesn't. Now I've left a decent enough length in case I want to attach beads on. I mean, I don't think Aunt Gert likes beads. Now this time I'm going to bypass that hole altogether, and I'm going to go back in that end hole to the outside. Pull it tight, but not so tight that you're going to rip all your paper. And then we need to go back in that centre hole. I think this lace is not going to make life easy. So I like to hold that away, pull that down, and then you're going to have the hole. It sort of opens up there, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. And it's opened the hole up on the back as well, if you understand me. I'm not very good at explaining sewing signatures in. I think that I often shy away from doing it on camera. And then we'll come back up. Try not to sew through the thread that's already there, but if you do, it's not end of world. I've done well. Well done, Julie. Now I'm going to pass my needle underneath, so I've got a thread on either side. Just so I'm not confusing anyone, I'll put the journal back the correct way, and I'm going to take them clips off now. In fact, it had already fallen off there. Right, so I want to pull it. I then always like to check I've not got any thread looped there or any thread looped there. and that it's all tight on the outside. And once it is, I'm happy. I'll take my needle out, put it away so you don't tread on it. I'm happy to just pull it and tie it. Yeah. You can put another knot in should you wish, but I like to do it with a bow. If you were wanting to cut these threads really close in, I would double knot it. Otherwise, with this wax thread, one knot will hold. And I'm going to keep that as a bow. And I'm just going to trim my little edges. So that's the sewing in. I know sewing in can be scary for a lot of people, especially when you see this thing with... Yeah, no. It's not my favourite part of journal, but it's something I can live with. Right, so that is our journal now sewn in. Now, what I would then do is I would put that under some heavy books, ready for morning, so that when you deliver it to Great Aunt Gertrude, it will go like a little book. So, there we have it. Ooh, I mean, it's a chompy little one signature journal, this, isn't it? It's quite cute. I like it. I probably could have done it quicker if I'd done a bit less waffling, but I think if you watch me regular, you know that's a common theme, isn't it? Right, so I do this so that it's, yeah, it just sort of works the pages so that they want to be pages, rather than it just sit open like that in the middle. Right, we're now going to go back through and get some of this ephemera put in. Now you'll notice all this time I've had this on my desk. Now, the reason I've had all this seam binding on my desk, which is from the scrap cabin shop, by the way, the lovely Erin, is because I'm going to put some on the top of my tags. And yeah, people are always giving me tips on how to find end on me seam binding. Oh lordy, this is a new colour. I love it. Sun Rose. Well, it's new to me anyway. There we go. I've got a little bit. Now I'm just going to cut little snippets of this off. I've got my tag there. I've picked this pink because it goes nice with that rose. And I've got my tiny attacher again, my stapler. And I've just stapled that on. And that now has prettied up my little tag. Yeah? Let's go through and find all our other little tuck spots. We've lost the tag that we're going to go there, so let's grab another. Should we have that one? Yeah. Let's have that one. And I'm going to do exactly the same on that one. And I think I want some green on this page. Oh, could have yellow. No, I want green. And I'm going to grab either that green or maybe that green. I must really like that green because do you know what? They're both same, frosted lime. Sometimes within a batch there'll be a slightly different colour. Now this is the one I want, which is moss. I love this moss colour. So I'm going to do it same again. This comes ready hand crinkled by the lovely Erin. If you pull it, it might uncrinkle a little bit. Or if you want a bit that's less crinkled, just spray it with a bit of water. Because I just want... There we go. Oh, that went a bit funny. And again, I'm just going to staple that on. There's lots of ways to do tops on your tags, and I think this is about the quickest. Ooh, right, I'm going to pause and just have a drink of water because I've been waffling for an hour, and I shall be straight back. And I'm back. So that's that one. Tuck that under. Cute as a button. Yeah, I've had my bottle of water here all the time, and I've only drunk yay much, and it's quite warm today. So I've got that. Got a throat sweet in, and I'm good to waffle on for another 10 minutes or so. Right, I want something in there. What's that? Do you know, I think I want some of the lace on top of these. Grab your knicker elastic, woman. I've got two colours. I've got the cream, so I think I'm going to use a bit of cream on here. Yeah, we can use knicker elastic in our journals. My desk is horrendous, and considering I've actually had a little bit of a tidy each time I've paused, it's quite shocking. Whee. And I think this one might need 2 staples. Oh no, we've got away with one. There we go, I like that. I've not used any lace of any sort in a journal for a long while. And yeah, is that all our pocket? I'm sure we've missed some out there. Of course we have. We've not done front half. Did we start in middle? I think we did. Right, so we're going to have one of the big ones there. I don't want the blue on blue, so I'm going to go with that one. Yeah, oh, that matches the pocket though, doesn't it? Let's have a look what we're putting back. I'm going to nick that one and put it there because I think, yeah, it looks better. And then I'm going to go to the back. And I think I'm going to put the blue one there. Yeah, that looks good. And I'm going to do the same on the top of this one. So I'm just cutting a bit of elastic off. So yeah, if you don't have loads of elastic and stuff in your stash like me, use anything. I've actually got a box of little bits of lace and ribbon that I've cut off of clothes before they've gone to tip. New clothes, you know, you have those bits of ribbon to help you put them on hangers somehow. I've never worked out what you're supposed to do with them. I really don't know. I just don't know. Yeah, that's that. So we did the back half, so we're back at the front. We've got one there. I think that one, I really don't want to, we're going to use her as a tuck spot, wasn't I? I don't want to cover her up. Ooh, that one. I like that one there. What else we got? We need something on these pages. But they are good enough just to be look pages, aren't they? Right, the middle. Let's do the middle, because what I want to do on the middle is pop these two on. I think that one will look good there. And that one will look good there. And all I'm going to put on those is some paper clips. Now if you had time, you could have done some cute little altered paper clips for Great Aunt Gertrude or whoever she is. But I'm just going to grab some, what I've got in my stash. What are these? Ooh, ooh, these are cute. Oh, cute little pointy ones. Teardrop shape, yeah. And then she can write all the deep dark secrets on those journal cards and clip them back on. There we go. So it doesn't have to be fancy. You don't have to have spent 3 years doing ephemera. We want something in there. What we got left? I think that's the beauty of these ready-made kits, isn't it? Ooh, we could put that in there. Oh, I think that does look good in there, yes. And I'm going to put seam binding on that. I think I want some more pink. Look at me, I'm being right boring using the same colour all the time, aren't I? But I like it. I'm a pink girl, what can I say? Pink and purple. I've lost end again. Have I got any? Yeah. Let's use a slightly different colour pink that we've already got the end of. Yeah, that'll do. In fact, that matches better. And again, I'm going to staple this on because that seems to be theme at journal. Stapling. Great Aunt Gertrude will be like, oh look, she's gone and got herself a stapler. Bless her. Whee. There we go. So that's that. What else we got? I mean, everything I've got left is going to go in the front pocket. We've not done anything with that back flap. But do you know what? I'm going to leave it as is. Because we'll be here while midnight if I start doing things with that back flap. I'm really liking this. I'm very tempted, you know. Do you know what? I'm going to put another score line in. Yeah? I'm going to use the scoreboard for this. This is a last minute adjustment. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in. I'm going to line the original score line up and just score down it. And then I'm going to score it every 1/8 of an inch for the next 1/4 of an inch. Yeah? And what that will then do, you probably know what that will allow it to do. It will curve around. Can you see? So even if your journal gets fatter, that will still fasten, because I like that. That wasn't my initial plan, but I like it. That's how it's ended up. And also because of that, it's going to allow me to round my corners. Do you know, because I love rounded corners. So I'm going to come in, I'm just going to use the small one. So, hey presto. I told you I was going to make it up as I went along, didn't I? And I've just totally changed what I was doing. Yeah. We could still put one pocket on the inside, I suppose. Yeah, I like that. And it makes a change for me not to ink. We don't have time to ink. It's a birthday tomorrow. So let's pick something from here to make a pocket. I think that will look good. You know, because it's got that rounded shape to it. Yeah. Get your corner rounder again, Julie. And small and small. So I've just rounded that opposite one as well. Yeah, I'm going to put that on as a pocket. It's not the world's most exciting pocket, but I like it. So ink glue, should I say, the bottom and that side. So again, I'm holding it where I don't want glue, because I'm really good at getting stuff upside down. It's a party trick of mine. There we go. And pop you there. Now we'll see if we got that corner straight. Oh, we didn't cut that ephemera piece straight at all. You did a bad job there, woman. Bad, Julie. So I'm just gonna, can you see? How bad was that? Look, that's terrible. Oh, that's shocking, woman. Absolutely shocking. You've made a whole new corner. Rip it off. Put a bit more glue on. We're not throwing baby out with bathwater. I think it's because I'm gluing two hand-cut corners together. And neither of them are actually really very good corners. So I'm going to start at the actual corner this time. Can you see? Oh, that's much better. And if anything's wonky, we can just trim it. That's better. You did have a corner, woman. You just totally missed it. Oh dear, I'm spitting on it now. What's that? Oh, it'll dry. Right, there we go. We could put another pocket there, couldn't we? We could. We can put lots of little tuck spots in this for Great Aunt Gertrude. Oh, I like that. So let's grab... Ooh. That was... Is that an ephemera piece? No, it's that bottom bit that we cut off. Yeah, I like that. I'm going to put a notch in this. There we go. And I'm going to glue it on. Whee. That were an impromptu little pocket, weren't it? There we go. I'll often say, I'll say to people in comments, I've had someone mention again today that they'd done something wrong, and I quite often say it's not wrong. No one knows what you intended to do. Right? If someone hasn't watched this video, they may think I intended my closure to be like that. I didn't. I hadn't got a clue it were going to be like that. That were going to be a tuck spot, but my bit of card were a bit too big. So we've changed it, and it's still good. Right, so we can pop something else in there. Right. That's the one I was going to make some more big tags from. I could make two lovely big journal cards there for my inside pockets. Grab my guillotine, and I'm going to cut that one. It's got to be cut there. So there we have a journal card, and there we have another journal card, but that may be too wide. Let's have a look, see where that could go. Yeah, it's far too wide to go in any of those pockets. Will it? No, it won't fit there. In fact, it's just too wide, isn't it, woman? I don't want to cut it again, so I'm just gonna put that in as an extra. I can if I want to. It's my journal. I can do what I want. Do what you want. Will that fit? That should fit perfectly. Is it upside down? Of course it is. Put it right way up, woman. Oh, that's lovely there, isn't it? Could have round at corners. Yeah, I just don't know what to do with that piece. I think I might just wang it in the middle as an extra piece. I could back it onto something really sturdy and turn it into a writing board, but I don't have time. It's drawing nearer to the birthday, for the birthday girl. Right, let's put the rest of these somewhere. So we've got these 2 journal cards. We need, I could put her there, yeah, she looks good there. And well, we've got the envelope we've not put anywhere yet. I think I'm going to grab another one of those cute dinky little paper clips. I didn't even know I had these. Don't ask me where they came from, I haven't got a clue. Looking at that, it looks like I picked them up in a shop somewhere. I might have picked them up on market, I don't know. So we want a plain page, a page that's got nothing else going on. There's plenty of journaling space in here, isn't there, for Aunt Gertrude. I think Gertrude's a popular name in our family. I've got an Aunt Gertrude and a Great Aunt Gertrude. Yeah, she says. Haha, I knew I had a page with nothing on it. Yeah, that'll go nice there. There we go. And yeah, we've now got all these little bits that don't have homes. So I was going to make that into a tuck spot. So let's just make one more tuck spot, and then I think we'll call this a day. Yeah, that needs something on. But yeah, she'll look nice there. Let's glue the bottom and up that right hand side. Well, I think we've got most of the ephemera used, haven't we? We've not had to use much of anything else. Bit of seam binding, bit of lace. So yeah, I think that is a really good journal there for a beginner who doesn't have much. We'll put that in early. I think we'll put another piece of ephemera in there. So we've got 2 in that pocket. And I'm going to pop these other bits in this front pocket so that Great Aunt Gertie can use them as and when and as and where she fancies. Now that just leaves us, yeah, I'm quite happy with how that lace worked out, yeah, really happy with that. And, oh, it just feels like such a chompy, meaty little journal, that. Very happy with it. And that can be our writing board. I will back that onto a bit of cardboard, yeah, and I can just pop that inside as a writing board. I'm not going to show you that, it's not rocket science. I'm going to cover it in glue and stick it on a bit of cardboard. Yeah. Right, now I want to pick some colours for my closure. I picked these purpley ones. I love that. I'm just thinking it needs to be that. Or maybe that. I know it's not the exact same colour as that flower, but it goes with it really well, doesn't it? So I'm going to use that. What's that colour? It is fuchsia. Is that fuchsia? I've no idea. I'm really rubbish with plants. I do apologise for that. I'm absolutely terrible at plant names. I'm not going to go sticking any dangles or tabs or anything on this journal, because we're beginners, we don't have that stuff hanging around, do we? Right, yeah, I think that colour's perfect. So I like to go round a good 2 or 3 times, I really do. There we go. So I'm going to cut that off there. Then I can just unwrap that last one. That'll give me plenty of seam binding to tie a lovely little bow. Do you know what? I'm going to pop, just so it looks nice and cute on the front, I'm going to pop a couple of theirs on a couple of, oh, I'll put that one under my ribbon. I could put a tag under. I could put anything I want under, but I've decided I want to put that under, do I? No, I don't. I've changed my mind. Tie it back up, woman. Stop faffing. You really don't want to do that. Just get your seam binding on and tie it. Have I gone round? 1, 2. There we go. I'll go around that many times. Oh, I like. So there we have it. How long did it take us? It's took us 1 hour and 25 minutes, and that's with me faffing and deciding. So in 1 hour and a half there, we've got a birthday present for Great Aunt Gertrude. So I really hope you enjoyed that. And I hope it is beginner friendly. If you've got any questions, just drop them in comments. I'm going to put my pin back in, and I'll tidy everything else up in good time. So thank you very much for watching. All the links are in my description for everyone else who's taken part in collaboration, and for Rachel's website. I think there's still a sale on the digitals at the moment, and there are some freebies as well that you can grab. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.